cold at the touch, dead in the eyes, no signs of life no more. I put your love under the knife. Leave me to die here all alone. No signs of life no more, no. A crying dove may never fly. It's black and white. Yeah. Black and white. Oh, 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 oh. It's black and white. Black and white, just let me go. It's only right for all I know. It's only matter. It's calico. It's black and white. White, white, white. Just let me go. It's only right for all I know. It's only matter. It's calico. It's black and white. White, white, white. It's black and white. Yeah. Black and white. Oh, 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 oh. It's black and white. It's black and white.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Sim Racers World TV, and welcome to another race meeting in the Sim Stickers Simracersworld Formula 3 series. My name is Chaz Dracop, and I'm here at one of my very favourite circuits in the world, the Red Bull Ring, to bring you rounds 13 and 14 of this championship, the penultimate race meeting of the season, the first race meeting that we have that is not a playoff. Basically, the drivers have had 8 race meetings so far this season. 4 of them making up playoffs A, and then 4 of them making up playoff B. In both of those playoffs, they had to set the highest score they could across each of the 4 race meetings. And then whatever score they set that is higher of the 2 gets carried over into these final championship rounds. And the first of them now starts here. I've been trying to get my graphics to work for the championship, but for some reason there's been a change and it's not seeming to come up at the moment. I'm really sorry about that, but I will give you the standings as they are. You'll just have to listen to me read them out. The most amazing thing at the moment is the fact that at the very top of the standings we have 2 drivers that are tied on points, Bart Daleman and Tobias Olsen. 8 wins for Bart, 9 wins for Tobias. They are both on 206 points. Alex Jonsson is 3rd with no race wins to his name. He's on 183 points. And then we have Mark Fletcher and Kevin Zemstra 1 point apart on 154 and 153. 4 wins for Mark, 3 wins for Kevin. In the consistency class, it is looking like a walkover at the moment for Ben Hoffman in the XZ Racing Red Machine. He's got 7 race wins in his class, 240 points to the 198 of Hans Polmans. Tim Rutten on 188, Philip Russell 180, and then Wayne Palmer 171. They make up a very strong top 5. It's even more of a walkover in the Academy Championship. Jakob Schmanski has 246 points, while Craig Schill, next in line, has 174. So Jakob is nearly 70 points clear at this moment in time, very close to wrapping up the championship in this first meeting. Stephen Grabowski and Adam Oshiawala are tied for 3rd and 4th on 170 points apiece, and then 9 points back is Phil Reagan on 161. The team standings, it's flying at altitude with Alcantech that are currently the fastest. I say the fastest. That are currently top of the standings. That's Mark Fletcher and Alex Jonsson. Those 2 only started taking part in the second set of playoffs as well. Alcantech NHR by Nyman Racing are on 213 points, 26 points back from flying at altitude with Alcantech. XZ Racing Red, 183 points for them in 3rd. And then there's 2 points between Alcantech NHR by SimLab and Sim Stickers. It's even closer further down as well. Team Mad then 3 points back, 2 points back from them, UGX Virenga Racing, and then 5 points back, Sim Racers World Esports. So it is all to play for in this latter stage of the championship. Tobias Olsen, the man on a mission. Not quite sure what he's doing there though. He's just using some of the limits to his advantage, I think, as he completes his practice sessions. Only 2.5 minutes left. Not a very long lap around here at the Red Bull Ring. 1 minute 23.2 is the fastest at the moment. Alex Jonsson is nearly 2/10 back on him, as you see on the left-hand side of your screen there. Just looking now down the order. And the highest placed consistency driver, Tim Rutten for Team Year 1 Racing. Highest placed Academy driver at the moment is Jakob Schmanski. He's in the pits at the moment though, so not too much to look at currently. Here's Vic de Blick. He's been entertaining to watch this season, has Vic. We've got James Forsyke and his teammate Kevin Zemstra in the Alcantech NHR by Nyman Racing team. We've got a lot of very, very quick drivers up at the top end of the order, ready to make the most of this beautiful, beautiful circuit. I was very privileged to be out there this year with Clio Cup Europe and travel to the Red Bull Ring. It is a wonderfully pretty place, an incredibly pretty place. And we'll try and go on a lap, shall we? Nope. Mark Van Dalen into the pits. Thank you very much, Sunshine. Victor Blick's actually going to go on one. Across the line here. Honestly, the sim and any pictures don't do justice how steep it is up this hill. The grandstand on the left is where me and my friend Chris stood. And it is amazing to watch the cars onto the curbs there. Through the right-hander he goes. Look at the scenery around you as well. The beautiful mountains as we go up the hill towards turn 2. This, again, incredibly steep. This is actually, when you're in the paddock, you can see this corner over the top of the trucks in the paddock. It is that high up. It's unbelievably steep. And then even on the apex, it still gains a lot of height. got to try and plant the car as well as you can onto the throttle to go back down the hill. You can see the grandstand down the main straight on the right-hand side as you go over the top of the hill. Down the hill we go. Another very, very long, steep right-hander, this time going back downhill. That is Schlossgold. Now we go along the right, all the way towards Rauch. Long left-hander, and then we're going to head towards Wirth. But the session is now over, so Victor Blick will disappear from our screens. There's the wonderful DRS board, very scenic picture there. And the race is going to be based on the championship standings backwards in each class. So Nick Sherman's on pole from Mark van Dalen. Then it's Reese Saunders and Silas Craig-Vrullik. Ross Nicholson will line up 5th on the grid. Then it's James Forsyth, Miguel Freitas and Kevin Zemstra. Mark Fletcher and Alex Jonsson are 9th and 10th. Tobias Olsen and Bart Daleman 11th and 12th. I think Bart's been done over by the system there, because Bart is actually on the same amount of points as Tobias, but with less race wins. Then we have the consistency cars. Victor Blick, Wayne Palmer, Philip Russell and Tim Rutten. Hans Polmans, Ben Hoffman and Robert Odoms, with Greg Parmenter round out your top 20. Robert Odoms and Greg Parmenter top of Academy on this grid. Paul Godden and Phil Reagan next up. Then it's Adam Osiowala and Craig Schill, with Jakob Schmanski, your current Academy class championship leader, at the very back of the grid. So 2 long races for each night of racing here in the final part of the season, and round 13 from the Red Bull Ring, 30 laps, is underway. Lovely start by Mark Fletcher and Tobias Olsen a bit further back in the pack. Look down the inside of Reese Saunders there from Silas Craig-Vrullik. He tries to put his nose down the inside. Actually, was it Kevin Zemstra? No, it wasn't actually. It was Silas. He's now got Ross Nicholson next to him. These two have had a lot of contact as these seasons have gone on. We're hoping that we don't have any more. 2 Team Year 1 cars in the top 3. Look at them behind. They're nearly 5 wide. Mark Fletcher in the middle of it all. Are they going to make it safely through turn 2? There's Alcantech cars all over the shop. Nick Sherman holds the lead at the moment. Robert Odoms has had a flyer of a start. He's overtaken Ben Hoffman. Ben losing a couple of positions. He currently leads the Academy Championship, let's not forget. Oh no, Reese Saunders is off. There's contact at the bottom of the hill. I can't click on him. Nick Sherman's is involved. The two of them go flying down the order. Now, did Nick lose it on his own and have Reese spin with him? Yeah, oh, they both spun on their own. Both feeling the pressure, lit it up. And now Mark van Dalen leads this race. Unbelievable. It's a Year 1 car at the front. Silas Craig-Vrullik in second. 5 places gained by Alex Jonsson so far. Hasn't won a race yet this season, Alex. Unbelievable, though, despite starting partway through the season. Hans Polmans and Ben Hoffman. Hans Polmans and Ben Hoffman, the two fighting for the Consistency Class Championship, are off the road. The 296 car of Greg Parmenter is involved as well. Ben is running his own livery tonight. I cannot believe it. And is Polmans out? Polmans has got damage. He's out of the race. Huge championship stuff already. Robert Odoms went off the road apparently as well into all this. Oh, I think Hoffman's lost it on his own into the side of Polmans. He has. He's lost it, taken Hansi out with him. Unbelievable stuff. Jakob Schmanski has gained 7 places from where he started in the AM class, but he is still, well, actually I say still, he's 3rd in class at the moment. Now look at all this further up the order. Tobias Olsen, Alex Jonsson, all of them trying to work together. Bart Daleman is still 9th at the minute. He's tied on points with Tobias Olsen, so needs to just finish ahead of him to outscore him. It's as simple as that. Tobias Olsen is in a fight with Mark Fletcher, and then James Forsyth in front of him. I can't believe it though. Opening lap of the first non-playoff races, and 2 of the championship contenders in consistency are out of the race. That means that Victor Blick, currently the leader in the consistency class, he's going to be over the moon with that. It's Nicholson and Miguel Freitas having a bit of a fight together there. And look at this though, Mark van Dalen leads the way. He's got Silas Craig-Vrullik all over the back of him though. Alex Jonsson in there as well. Then James Forsyth, then Mark Fletcher, and then Tobias Olsen. Oh, Victor Blick's going down the order now. Vic's off. Did he fall? Was he pushed? Says Tim Rutten overtook him. Oh, he's had a hit. Oh, it's his teammate as well, Bart Daleman. Can't believe it. Sim Racers World Esports cars absolutely imploding on each other. Bart now trying to make up more ground as he goes ahead of the new class. Get it out, Chaz. Consistency class leader, Philip Russell. Now, Mark van Dalen, leading this race, has got Hans Polmans right in front of him. Hansy needs to get out of the way of all this lot. Look at the rabble coming through there. Massive, massive flock of cars. Who's that down the inside? That's Olsen looking down the inside of Jonsson. Let's not get those two confused. Lovely blimp cam here showing Mark Fletcher stuck in the middle with you. Look at how much runoff and curb they all use. They're pushing so hard around here. I remember when I commentated here on Clio Cup Europe, there was, I think, 29 track limits penalties over the course of a race. I think it went to a good 17 or 18 different cars. But the track limits are there to be pushed at this circuit. Here's Mark van Dalen looking back, and with everybody chasing him down, he's doing a great job at the moment to hold on to it. We've seen some really good performances from Mark so far this season. Adam Osiawala is now the leader in the academy class. Philip Russell leading consistency. And here comes Silas Kragvrolic. He's going to look down the inside. He's going to try and get the move done as cleanly as possible. Mark says not in your life. They'll carry some good speed on the exit. And look at that. You can defend by being on the outside. Then it's Alex Jonsson and Tobias Olsen that are fighting together for third place. The two countrymen, the Super Swedes as I've been calling them, fighting as hard as they can. Very late on the brakes compared to Van Dalen, but he's absolutely swamped by Alcantec cars here. It looks to me like Tobias Olsen might get this done here. He's on the right-hand side of Silas. Not quite doing it yet. He's around the outside. Silas is going to run him out of road. Still, though, Tobias Olsen holds it and gets the place. Beautiful stuff. Mark Fletcher's got a front row seat here of the Alcantec inter-team scrap. He's got no slipstream out there, but he's at least got his end plate alongside Alex Jonsson. Still nothing doing. Don't forget, in this championship, these two are teammates. They may be wearing different liveries, but oh, that's a mistake there from Silas. And look at that. Alex and Mark straight through. Teams championship leaders as well. Alex Jonsson and Mark Fletcher. Zemstra does the fastest lap of the race. He's right behind all of this. Is that a look down the inside by Zemstra? It was. Oh, sorry, it was James Forstyke looking down the inside. 25 and 52, got them the wrong way around. Bart Daleman is into the pits, interestingly, and straight back out. I didn't see any problems for him. Phil Reagan's had an issue at turn 1. Oh, just too much pace through there. Looped it on his own. But Bart Daleman has been into the pits and is now back out in 19th place. And his championship rival, Tobias Olsen, is going for the race lead on Mark van Dalen. He's having to try very hard indeed. Look at how close they are to each other as they go towards the long left-hander at Rausch. Then it's going to be Wirth, the next left-hander. But look at the speed that Van Dalen can carry around the outside, of course, forcing Tobias to take the tighter, lower speed line. Alex Jonsson wants a piece of the pie as well. He's going to try and come through. Oh, Van Dalen, there's contact with Olsen. He goes one way, then the other. Has that broken anything on Tobias' car? Either way, Jonsson now moves up into second place. Mark Fletcher is in fourth. Incredible. Ross Nicholson in the pits. I think some of these guys are just pitting early, you know. Look at this here. Oh, Alex. That was very naughty indeed. And oh, the 3 wide again. He tucks in behind Tobias Olsen now. Tobias has gained 10 places in this race. Biggest move is Jakob Schmanski. He's gained 11. He's second in the academy class right now. Teammates fighting for the first pair of positions. We knew this was going to be a fantastic circuit for these cars with all of the slipstreaming that they can do to stay with each other. This is awesome stuff. It's very stop-start, this track. Mark van Dalen looking back down the inside of the pair of them. Can't do it for now. Olsen runs a bit deep. Jonsson carries the speed around the outside. He's going to be down the inside for Rausch. On the left. Oh, they made contact. Tobias Olsen's off the road. Tobias Olsen is flung off the circuit. Second time in a lap that Tobias Olsen and Alex Johnson have made contact. Adam Osiawala is off the road. He's just lost, I think, the lead in his class. Craig Schill is now ahead of Jakob Schmanski, so the Marshals on tour powered by Sim Stickers car leads that class. Mark van Dalen somehow leads the race, and who was that going in the pits? Was it Tobias Olsen? No, it's Alex Johnson. Alex Johnson's had a problem. Maybe caused by that contact, but let's have a look at how it happened. So here they are together. Does Tobias just turn in on him? Oh no, Alex loses the back end on turn-in. Flings Tobias Olsen off the road. Now, where is Bart Daleman in all this? Bart's coming around the final corner. This could unbelievably turn on its head and give Bart the championship lead. That is absolutely mesmerising. But Mark van Dalen's been mesmerising right now. What a brilliant drive this has been from him so far. Beautiful scenery of Austria in the background. Bart Daleman does the fastest lap of the race. He's ahead of Tobias Olsen. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Whew. Nearly a third of the way through this race. Can we chill yet? There's never any chill in the Sim Stickers Simracersworld Formula 3 series at all. Cars that we've lost so far from the race. Jakob Schmanski is in the pits. Haven't seen him have any sort of issues, so I think he might have been speeding in the pits there. He's been in the pits for 44 seconds. That's a nightmare for Jakob. That means that Craig Schill still leads the class. Adam Osiawala is in second place. Then it's Greg Parmenter and Phil Reagan. 11th, 12th, 13th and 14th respectively. We need to go back to the front though, because it's Mark versus Mark. Mark van Dalen versus Mark Fletcher. That's Team Year 1 Racing against Flying at Altitude with Alcantech. Excuse me, just got my headset snagged on the desk. That's lovely stuff, is it not? But Van Dalen, he's having to hold off a whole snake of very angry cars right now. He's not having an easy time of it either. And look at that. Big send. James Forsyth flings it down the inside of Silas Craig-Vrolick. Doesn't work for him. Further down, Daleman's done the fastest lap of the race again. He's now going to have a go at Phil Reagan. Up the hill we go. Nice stuff. Onto the brakes at turn 2. Gets it done. Tiny bit of a lock up there by the look of it from Phil Reagan. And he is through. Philip Russell, by the way, he's going brilliantly well. He's gained 9 places in this race. Currently leads the consistency class. He's just put a lap on Hans Polmans, who is ahead of Ben Hoffman in the race at least. So he's outscoring him as things stand. This is Miguel Freitas and Reese Saunders. They're fighting for position in the precision class. Reese Saunders goes through. Runs very wide, using all of the track limits. But still, somehow, Mark van Dalen holds on to his race lead from Mr. Fletcher. With the issues for Olsen and Daleman, Fletcher could genuinely go for this championship at the moment. Although it's Alex Johnson that's next up. Mark would have to gain 52 points on Daleman and Olsen to outscore them. Although I say that though, Alex Johnson's far down the order as well actually. Alex currently down in 14th position. Here comes the attack from Mark Lisson. He's backing off from this. He's lifting, maybe saving a bit of fuel. Tobias Olsen does the fastest lap of the race, 1:23.9, the only driver to go into the 23s. Look at the way that they have to just guide these cars around there. It's a very, very wide circuit, Red Bull Ring. But it's one of those circuits that invites you to push very hard indeed because of the track limits, because of how much space you have. It makes you want to push hard. Very, very enticing racing all the same though. Fletcher just closing up on Van Dalen once again, but as I mentioned, I don't think he's trying to go through and actually make the move at this point. Same with James Forsyth as well. He's tucked right up behind his teammate Silas Craig-Vrolick. Watch the way that the slipstream works here. Just getting dragged along by it. Looks like Silas got a fantastic run actually. And Silas is going for it. I think that was just... Originally, I thought it was just a little fake down the inside for Silas, but no. He's having a go here at Mark Fletcher. Tucks in behind him again. Realises that Mark's got the superior run down the back straight. Looks again into Schlossgold. Mark gives him plenty of room. Runs around the outside. We're a third of the way through this first race. And still, Silas holds on around the outside. The two of them swapping places continuously on the timing tower on the left-hand side. Silas has got a great run through there, and he's got the position. Now, is James Forsyth going to go through as well? Mark weaving all over the place to try and keep him behind. James goes one way, then the other. Looks down the inside, wants to follow his teammate through. Is he later on the brakes? Yes, he is. Through goes James Forsyth. Mark Fletcher all of a sudden finds himself in 4th place with Kevin Zemstra right up his exhaust pipe now as well. Here comes Kevin. He's boxed in. Mark can't go anywhere. Phenomenal racing once again. Great teamwork there by the Alcantech boys. They shuffle Mark back into the deck, but look at that. Zemstra a little bit too ambitious into turn 1, and suddenly he goes backwards again. Bart Daleman has done another fastest lap of the race. 12th position he is at the moment. 1:23.79. Does he improve on that again? 1:23.8, so still quicker than Tobias Olsen's fastest lap of the race. Philip Russell still leads consistency. He's got Wayne Palmer not too far behind him. And then another 3 seconds back is Craig Schill. He currently leads the Academy class. Great resurgence from Craig Schill. He's very comfortable wearing orange, being a marshal himself. Seems like he's a very good racer when he's wearing orange on the car as well. Jakob Schmanski, after being in the pits for over 40 seconds, is currently 20th overall, 5th in class though. And to be honest, he does not have Stephen Grabowski here to try and outscore either, so he just needs to think about Craig Schill. So at the moment, dire scenario for Jakob as Craig leads the way, but there is a massive points gap to make up for Craig. It's over 70 points. Van Dalen, though, doing a mega job at the minute. He's not even in the top 10 in the championship, is Van Dalen. He's not done every single race meeting, granted, but when we have seen him, he's been awesome fun to have. Now, which way is he going to go? Silas goes to the left. He knows that you can carry a lot of good speed around the outside of turn 2, and he's going to try and do just that. Mark tries to brake as late as he dares, though. Look at that run by Silas. Now he's going to drag his teammate with him here. James Forsyth's going to get some very strong slipstream. Olsen fastest lap of the race, 1:23.78. Van Dalen gets that lead back. Forsyth's going to look down the inside of Silas now. Now these two are technically not teammates actually. Silas, Alcantech NHR by SimLab. James Forsyth, Alcantech NHR by Nyman Racing. And then Mark Fletcher behind them is flying at altitude with Alcantech. Then Kevin Zemstra is James Forsyth's teammate. He's down in 5th position, but what a very enticing lead battle we have right now. Nearly halfway through this race, and a lot of drivers have stopped. Silas is trying everything he can to try and get some sort of cutback on Mark out of these final few corners, but nothing doing yet. Zemstra and Saunders into the pits. They're going to get their service and make sure that the cars are all well sorted for when they go back out. But still Van Dalen holds the lead. Brilliant, brilliant racing from him so far. Started 2nd on the grid behind Nick Shermans. Craig Schill into the pits, the Academy class leader. He's going to lose that temporarily to Adam Ossioala. Look at the run that Van Dalen gets through there. Even with Silas popping a move down the inside, he still kept the speed up. Looking back from Silas, his teammate James Forsyth and Mark Fletcher. Mark just hiding behind the 52 machine for now. Sounded like Silas had to get out of that a little bit there. And a tiny lift mid-corner, just to make sure the car doesn't run wide. It's very easy to run it wide there because you're coming down a hill and the grip seems to just go away from you as you get there. Silas going very well at the moment. strong fight this is. He started 4th on the grid. Adam Oshiawala, by the way, I know that there's pit stops yet to sort this out, but he's gained 14 spots in this race so far. Oh, that made me jump for a second there. All of the time he moved around. The top 3 are in the pits. Mark Fletcher carries on. He wants to do another lap or so. Now let's have a keen eye on this. Mark van Dalen just testing his gearbox still works there. He's going to pull into his pit box just ahead of these guys, so you will see them stop before him. Now they'll only be in there for a matter of seconds before they get going. Oh, Mark gets going considerably sooner than Silas, who gets jumped by his own teammate James Forsyth now. Here's Alex Jonsson onto the scene. Is he going to get past Mark van Dalen? He is. Or is he? Is he? Oh, just about. The sun's shining in the background there. It's just Fletcher and Freitas left to pit then in this race. And we've still got half of it to go. So no one's taking tyres. Everybody's just racing and running out of fuel and then getting it topped up and back out again. Now, the later you can do your pit stop in the race, the less fuel you have, the less the car weighs on the in-lap, and the less fuel you have to take on board to get to the end. Bart Daleman is currently the highest placed driver that's pitted. Oh my lord, look at the gap that Bart's got. That's, well, if that wasn't already a complete power move, then everybody else knows it is now, because Tobias Olsen is down in 11th place. Alex Jonsson is 5th, but he's nowhere near as in touch in the championship. Bart Daleman has pulled an absolute screamer here. It's unbelievable. Apologies there, I had a call come through and it might have been an emergency there. People know not to call me when I'm broadcasting, so I figured it may have been something important. Bart Daleman, though, absolutely flying right now. 11 places gained, started 12th on the grid, behind Tobias Olsen, I must add, because I said at the top of the broadcast that I figured Bart had been done over by the system. He had less race wins than Tobias, but was still behind him on the grid. There's Ben Hoffman, who's having a very, very tough race, to be fair, after the earlier incident. Him and Hans Polman's both down there, 21st and 23rd. Fletcher has just got past Alex Jonsson, who has got past Mark van Dalen. So these guys all still swapping around. Silas Craig Vrolik with Reese Saunders as well. The two of them glued together. Having a bit of a wiggle. Tries the cutback, does Reese. That's very, very close. You've got to be so careful with these cars. You do not want to lift up the rear end of the car in front of you. You see the gaps on the left-hand side. Daleman with a 7.5 second lead at the moment. It's absolutely bonkers. But what a strategy he has pulled off there. What a strategy. Hold on to the brakes. Into the right-hander they go. And now the long run up towards turn 2. Oh, there's contact! How on earth did they get away with that? Reese didn't want to back out. Silas didn't really leave any room, but at the end of the day, that's Reese's moment to back out of. We've got smoke around at the top of the hill there. Someone had an issue. Is that Ben Hoffman? Yeah, Ben Hoffman's having a nightmare, isn't he? Absolute nightmare. Van Dalen and Nicholson together. That would look like a big send by Reese Saunders. Oh, it's ended in tears, and the contact between the two. Oh. Silas and Zemstra honestly have, between them, no luck. No luck whatsoever. At all. Well, let's have a look at this from Miguel Freitas' point of view. Actually, it was Tobias Olsen, was it not? No? James Forsyth was in there with this. No, I'm looking at the wrong cars, aren't I? So there's Silas with Reese Saunders. It's not Tobias Olsen. Who on earth was it? Was it Tobias Olsen? No. I can't figure out for the life of me who it was. Of course it was Kevin Zemstra. I literally said it was. Sorry everyone, that was me being a complete pillock. So Zemstra gets to see this now. So Saunders launches it down the inside. Oh, I'm not sure that Silas gave him all the room there, to be honest. If he knew that he was going down the inside, he probably shouldn't have closed the gap off as much. But at the same time, I don't think Reese was getting that stopped. Well, well, well. That's a real shame. But the race goes on. And the race will continue to go on for 13 more laps. Mark van Dalen right with James Forsyth right now. James did overtake him on the previous lap. So maybe James trying to break away a bit here from the year one driver. Mark started second on the grid though. He's had a good race so far. Oh, Bart Delman's in. He's into the pits. He does have to go for another splash and dash. I did wonder whether he had to refuel again. That'll give Alex Jonsson the race lead. Alex hasn't won a race all season, but he's been doing a fantastic job at scoring consistent points with his teammate Mark Fletcher. And now the two flying at altitude with Alcantech cars lead the way. Like I said earlier, they may be in different colours, but they are teammates in this championship. The top five not too spread out really. Tobias Olsen is only 2.4 seconds off Mark van Dalen. He's taking Miguel Freitas with him. Not seen too much of Miguel this season. I believe he was in the A playoffs, but didn't do all of the B playoffs once he realised that he was no longer able to improve his score. Miguel is a very, very undefeatable champion of the Sim Racers World TCR series. Before Corentin Guinez came along, Miguel was a real dominant force in that championship, taking win after win after win. I think at one point he took 7 race wins on the bounce. Before that, nobody had ever won more than 1 in a row. Well, no one had ever won 2 in a row, I should say. Listen to these cars making an absolute racket. Let's have a look at your other classes then. Inconsistency, it's Tim Rutten leading the way. He has got 5.8 seconds over Philip Russell in the Team Ford Zilla car, and he's got 3 seconds over Wayne Palmer. Ross Nicholson on his way into the pits. Now, I figured that a lot of these drivers would one-stop this, but I think we might have to have 2 stops for every driver here. That makes it interesting. Craig Schill, 13th overall at the moment. First place in Academy. He's 10 seconds clear of Adam Ossioala. Both, obviously, big fans of orange. And Greg Parmenter is in 3rd place with the very bright cyan highlights on his car. Car 296. Making his way around the final corner. Across the line he goes. We're on lap 19 out of 30. Bart Delman is now in 9th position. So he's going well. But that early strategy seems to have got him back in this race. He's got a little bit of clean air now as well, so potentially time to put some quick laps in to make it work. And just to let you know as well, everybody watching at home, that during the break between the 2 races, we will have some downtime while the guys figure out the championship standings and get the next race set up and set the grid. And Sebastian in chat asking what happened to Bart. He had a second pit stop. And yes, it does seem like everybody has to do these second stops. This might have been something that I completely missed. Bart does give me a hell of a lot of info. Yes, he said the fuel limit is 33%. It's probably good for 13 to 15 laps dependent on fuel saving. A 1 stop is possible, but it's most likely it'll be a 2-stop race. Race 2 is definitely a 1 stop, he says. Ah, right. Race 1 is 30 laps. Race 2 is 20 laps. I'm really sorry, Bart. I sound like a right prat, don't I? So you get 25 points for a race win, then 20, 17, 14, 11, 8, 6, 4, 2, 1. And you get a point for fastest lap as well. So 50 points per race meeting up for grabs. 52 if you get fastest laps in both races. The grid is sorted by class, but championship order reversed. So there's plenty to remember. Ben, of course, in the chat. Real shame to see what happened, Ben, but fair play on apologising to Hansi. It was just a simple mistake, mate. Everybody makes them, don't you worry. But yeah, Silas doing Silas things. Mr. Crisp. We've had some amazing racing so far, though. This is a little bit of downtime for me for a moment. The closest two cars on track, we're looking at them right now. Philip Russell and Silas Craig Frolic, who has lost 10 places as this race has gone on. Tim Rutten's into the pits. The current leader in the consistency class, Wayne Palmer, goes through and takes that title away from him for now. Oh, Adam Osio-Waller has had a problem, I'm afraid. We need to have a look back at this. Oh, it's into the last corner. Whoa, suddenly on the change down, the car has a long old slide. It snaps away from him. I think he's trying to do a 3-point turn there. It's not best advised on the entry to the pits, but what can you do? Can't do too much from there, to be honest. Now here is Wayne Palmer in the 177 car with the green highlights, currently leading the consistency class. He's got Alex Jonsson very close behind him, showing him just how quickly you can take Schlossgold. Now this is not in the plan for Alex. He's getting held up a little bit here by Wayne. Wayne's doing all he needs to do. He's going to race him for position, of course. He doesn't have to let him go. He may be in a different class, but he's not lap traffic. He doesn't have to get out of the way for any blue flags or anything right now, does Wayne? So he can sit there if he wants to. Alex has to find a way through. Down the inside he goes. Yet Wayne makes that a little bit easy for him there. That's nice of him, to be honest. And Jonsson now up into 6th on the road, 6th in his class. Here's Tobias Olsen overtaking Craig Schill. Tobias 8th in class. Craig Schill leading the academy class. He's ahead of every consistency driver except Wayne Palmer as well as Craig Schill, so he's having a really good run. Up the hill they go towards turn 2. Phil Reagan is into the pits. We've got a number of drivers that are still yet to stop as well. If you look on the left-hand side, 2 stops are going to be required unless they do a massive amount of fuel saving. Quite frankly, I think there's a lot of drivers that haven't done that in this race. Here's Ross Nicholson. Tobias Olsen starting to close down on him. Through Roush they go up towards Verth and then towards the final corner. Miguel Freitas into the pits. There's the famous bull in the midfield, or the infield I should say. Look at the way that Tobias' car moves around there. He's saying, look, I'm going to come to overtake you at some point. He's doing the same class, 2 of the quickest guys in the series. Ross has been very, very fast this season, but he's just had the odd mistake here and there that has let him down. He's been involved in incidents with other drivers. It's not been smooth sailing for him this season for Ross. But he still continues to push. Oh, that was lovely. Oh, I hate to say I saw it coming, but that was lovely by Tobias Olsen. Goes one way, then very aggressively the other. Ross Nicholson's going to try and squeeze him to the right. We've seen Ross do this to a few people. Doesn't always work. They don't want to give each other a single inch, do they? Look at that. Ross is now on the outside. Tobias carries a lot of good speed on the inside. I think there might have been a tiny bit of a touch. Ross will be flashing his headlights if he could. Now he tries to go around the outside of Tobias. Looks for some sort of cutback. Tobias has got the early apex. Runs a little bit wide. Great battle here between 2 very quick drivers. Oh, look at the understeer there from Ross's car. That's not how you want it to behave. They've both stopped twice as well, so they're good to go to the end. Fletcher still leads this race on 1 pit stop though. Forsyth on 2, Van Dalen on... Sorry, Forsyth P2 on 1 stop, Van Dalen P3 on 1 stop. Fletcher is some 31 seconds up the road from Ross Nicholson where we are right now, so he's absolutely flying. Looks like Ross has lost Tobias for now. They've got Wayne Palmer not too far ahead. Still leading the consistency class. How cool do those curbs sound, by the way? Craig Schill has been in the pits and is on his way back out right now. Greg Parmenter has gone through, but Greg only pitted once and he pitted on lap 12. Now, when did Fletcher and co pit? Bart Daleman pitted last on lap 17, Alex Johnson lap 19, but they've done 2 stops. Out of the top 3, Mark Fletcher pitted on lap 14, and then James Forsyth and Mark Van Dalen were both on lap 13. We've had an issue for Victor Blick. Is it just going to snap on the change down? Yep. Very easy to lock up the rear brakes in this car. And there she blows. Ross Nicholson now ahead of his teammate Wayne Palmer. Ross now up into 7th place overall. Wayne is yet to stop again. He's got Miguel Freitas right behind. I think his team will probably be hoping that he can hold up Miguel just a little bit. And no, there's no point in fighting for a different class, to be honest with you, so fair play for Wayne Palmer. He could have played a team game there and got in the way of Miguel just so it took the pressure off Ross, but you know, he thought, nah, I'm not gonna play those naughty little tactics. This is Victor Blick trying to overtake Greg Parmenter, which is made easier when Greg goes into the pits. Schill is only 6 seconds behind him, and he's going to be in the pits for 4, maybe even 5 seconds, so Schill really dominating this academy class in this race. Jakob Schmanski has gained 6 places from where he started, even after his earlier pit stop issue. He's pitted twice as well now, so he's on his way to the end. 19th overall, still some good points for Jakob. I'm pretty sure he could wrap up the title in the next race. Won't be in this one. Academy and consistency can both mathematically be decided this evening. Academy definitely can be decided this evening if Jakob has a clean second race. We'll have to see what he needs to do to win that championship. Obviously the points are given per class rather than overall position, so realistically he's 3 places behind Craig Schill, not 4, because you take Reese Saunders out of the equation. Tobias Olsen's done the fastest lap of the race. Literally a missile is Tobias Olsen. We've known that all season though, haven't we? Miguel Freitas just staying where he started, actually. The only driver currently that is in the same position he started the race in 7th place, car 99 for Team Mad. As it stands in the championship, Freitas is 6th on 130 points, some 76 off Bart Daleman. So mathematically, Miguel could still win the championship here. We've got 100 points still on offer in the last, well, so 104 points on offer in total in the last 4 races. But right now, with Bart Daleman still in 3rd, now about to go up to 2nd as he overtakes James Forsyth. Bart's going to win this race if he carries on. If he carries on how he's going, Bart is going to win this race. That early pace and lack of battling with anybody was incredible. So we need to try and see if we can get this to work. Yes, so that is Mark Fletcher in the blue dot with the number 1 on it and the red ring around it. And that is Bart Daleman in the number 2. So we're going to keep this up and just see when Mark comes in. I think he's going to come in this lap. I think he's just running this thing out of fuel. He's using it till it's running on fumes. And then he's just pitting at the last minute. He's only going to have to do a 3-lap dash. Looks to me like he's coming in. Yep, right. Let's keep an eye on this. Usually in the pits it's 35 seconds. Bart is 17 behind him on the way in. I don't even think Mark's going to get to his garage by the time Bart's gone through, you know. Because here comes Bart now. Around the final corner. Mark hasn't even stopped in his box yet. Oh, he has. But look. There goes Bart Daleman, everybody. Bart Daleman takes the race lead. Convincingly as well. Wow, oh wow. What a fantastic strategy it's been by Bart Daleman. Now you're going to get a lot of people trying to do that in the second race, aren't you? 20 laps the second race, so only one stop needed, but wow. That's the difference it makes. Alex Jonsson is third. Tobias Olsen is fourth, though. Now that is massive because it means that Daleman is going to have barely any advantage points-wise after the race. It will give him the championship lead, but it's going to be a tiny margin. Tim Rutten still leads the consistency class in their championship. He is third at the moment, with Philip Russell right behind him. So he's going to open up that gap to Philip. But he's going to outscore Hans Polmans, that is for sure. Hansi fifth at the moment. We'll get him 11 points. It'll be 14 points more for Tim Rutten. That will put him second in the championship. Ben Hoffman is going to get no points. So it gets ever closer. Ever closer. Still 3 races to go in the championship after this one. Another one tonight, which will be 20 laps as mentioned. Grid once again sorted into reverse championship order. Bart Daleman crosses the line to go on to lap 29. Amazing stuff by the Belgian so far. He's been fast since starting the Sim Racers World Formula 3 series. He's been an admin of it from the very start, doing an incredible job. He's had amazing rivals to race against. Fantastic competition with the likes of Tobias Olsen, Adrian Falcon, Arthur Fry. People like Ross Nicholson as well, Mark Fletcher, Zemstra, Silas Craig Vrolic, your Jack Crawfords. You know, Bart has raced every single one of them at the front consistently every season. And tonight has been an amazing show of force. So far, anyway. It's only one of 2 races. We'll just have to see what Bart can manage in the second race. Less time to do it, but still potentially the same strategy. 1 lap to go then after this one. Bart Daleman leads. Fletcher second. Then it's Jonsson, Olsen, Forsyth, Freitas, Nicholson, Zemstra, Rutten and Van Dalen. Rounding out your 10. Philip Russell's 11th. Victor Blick 12th, just ahead of Wayne Palmer. I say just ahead, it's 9 seconds. Craig Schill, the 2.5 back. Then Silas Craig Vrolic and Reese Saunders. Rounding out your top 16. That is the, other than Nick Sherman, who has retired, he is the lowest placed precision class driver. Now this is Miguel Freitas all over the back of James Forsyth for 5th position. Looks like Miguel's got a good run there. Oh, James moves back over very last minute, says thank you. If you're not going to go past, then stuff you. I'm going to stay in front. Bart is 15 seconds up the road from this, so he's not really got much to worry about right now. But he will take the championship lead. Fastest lap at the moment is the property of, I think, Tobias Olsen. Oh, Greg Parmenter's off. Final lap, and Greg Parmenter is off. Drops down to 4th in his class. Jakob Schmanski, by the way. Let me figure out what the points gap is. It's 72 points. There's going to be 78 available after this race. So with Craig Schill about to win that class, the gap is definitely going to come down, but not by much. The gap isn't coming down at all to our race leader, though. Bart Daleman, everybody, has shown you exactly how to bounce back from a poor start Amazing strategy, early pit stop, no battling, and Bart Daleman wins the first race of the night at the Red Bull Ring. What an amazing performance that was. And then the two flying at altitude with Alcantech cars go one step closer to the team's championship with second and third. Tobias Olsen, great recovery from him to finish fourth after the earlier issues. James Forsyth is going to finish fifth ahead of Miguel Freitas, Ross Nicholson and Kevin Zemstra. Tim Rutten is going to be next up. He's going to take the win in the consistency class. Brilliant drive from him. Very well done indeed, and a very well done to his teammate at year one, Mark van Dalen. He was so strong early on. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for him in the end. Philip Russell is going to come home second in consistency. Victor Blick, just behind him, is going to finish third for Sim Racers World Esports Academy. And then this man, coming into the final corner now, just ahead of Silas Craig Rollick, is Craig Schill. The Marshals on Tour, powered by Sim Stickers driver, takes a win in the Academy class and does some big damage points-wise in the championship to Jakob Schmanski. Here's another man trying to do the same, Phil Reagan. He's fifth in the championship, though, nearly 100 points off. I think after this one, unfortunately, the championship win out of reach for Phil. But still, a strong performance all the same. And Jakob Schmanski, he's going to hold his championship lead, but is not going to be able to extend it at this point over Craig Schill. But an absolute barnstormer of a race, fantastic entertainment. Bart Daleman, absolutely amazing in that race. Bart will jump off very quickly to go and figure out the points between these races, as will I. But honestly, we hope you have enjoyed the show so far. We will be back with you very, very soon. And then we will have our second race of the night. Bear with us, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Black and white. Yeah. Black and white. Oh. 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 Just black and white. Oh. Black and white, just let me go. It's only right. For all I know, it's only matter. It's calico, it's black and white. White, white, white. Just let me go. It's only right. For all I know, it's only matter. It's calico, it's black and white. White, white, white. Black and white. Yeah. Black and white. Oh. 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 Just black and white. Black and white.
Hello again, everybody. Chaz Draycott back with you at the Red Bull Ring for the final race. Sorry, the penultimate. I'm too ahead of myself here. I'm not in the game. Penultimate race meeting of the season. Round 14 is just about to come up here on Sim Racers World TV in the Sim Stickers Simracersworld Formula 3 series. Now, the grid for this final race of the night is going to be the race result from race 1. So we're going to see all of the quickest guys at the front of the field this time, rather than being shuffled back in championship order. And those that had a nightmare first race do not get any sort of lifeline here. They've got to work hard from further down the order to get back up. So we'll see how they get on. A quick rundown of the points then, as they are at the moment. Tobias Olsen got the fastest lap of the race in that last one, so he is now on 221 points. Bart Daleman is on 231 points. So 10 points difference between the two. Alex Jonsson is now on 200 points, so he's 31 off the leader. Mark Fletcher on 174. Inconsistency, Ben Hoffman is on 248 points at this moment in time. He's also off the track. Here's a good bit of fun. Tobias Olsen involved in this one. Tim Rutten's on 213 points in second place, so 35 points between them. And then 4 points behind him is Hans Polmans. And then 9 points behind him, Philip Russell. In the academy class, it is currently... One second. It's currently a 65-point gap between Jakob Schmanski and Craig Schill. As, off the road again goes, I think that was Ross Nicholson there. Sorry, I'm just. Bart's going to kill me, but I'm editing his point spreadsheet just to show me the gap between the certain drivers in their respective classes. So just if you bear with me 2 seconds, I will have it fixed so that I know who is able to win the championship and who is not. There's 35 points between the top two in consistency. 10 points between them in precision, and that is the overall championship as well. So realistically now, in academy, only Craig Schill and Jakob Schmanski can win the championship. Adam Ossioala is 80 points back, so he can no longer do it. In academy, sorry, in consistency, I've got to get this right, haven't I? In consistency, 5 drivers can still do it. Ben Hoffman, Tim Rutten, Hans Polmans, Philip Russell and Wayne Palmer. For Wayne Palmer, it's going to be a massive challenge. Philip Russell, potential challenge as well. It also looks like Kevin Zemstra is just about to be knocked out of championship contention in this final race of the night here at the Red Bull Ring. But honestly, thank you again to Bart and all of his admins and everybody for doing all of the hard work they do. And I really hope that you've enjoyed the show and enjoyed Haas's broadcasting at the start of the season and having me back with you again for the latter parts of the season. It's been great fun once again to be with this championship. We still have one more race meeting as well next week on the 2nd of December. And I cannot wait to see who gets crowned as champion there. You never know how it's going to change, to be honest. Only a minute or so of practice left, and then we have a 20-minute race. As I explained, the grid is going to be based on the race 1 result. So Bart Daleman automatically has a slight advantage there, starting from the very front of the grid. 10 points difference, though, between the top two overall in this championship. Cannot believe that after all of this, after the playoffs, after all of the races we've had, it's still this close. We had 3 races per meeting. So technically, we've had 24 races so far. This is going to be the 26th one. The first race of the night was the 25th. And still, they came into this race meeting tied on points. Incredible. So let's not forget about those fastest lap points. They could be all that makes the difference. In these final few. In the teams championships, by the way, it is currently, actually it's not been changed, apologies, flying at altitude with Alcantech were top, and 239 points coming into this, and they have been absolutely on it. Mark and Alex have been incredible so far this season. They only teamed up for the second set of playoffs as well, so the fact that they've done so well after coming into the season late is incredible. Now, for some reason, Bart Daleman is down in 9th place on our grid sheet there. Bear with me. Let me get this. Right, there you go. Bart Daleman on pole. Mark Fletcher second. Then it's Alex Jonsson. Then Tobias Olsen. James Forstyke and Miguel Freitas on row 3, ahead of Ross Nicholson and Kevin Zemstra. Then it's Tim Rutten and Mark Van Dalen rounding out your 10. Philip Russell is ahead of Victor Blick on row 6. Wayne Palmer ahead of Academy winner Craig Schill from that first race. Silas Craig-Vrolick and Reese Saunders looking to make their way through the order on the 8th row of the grid. Then it's Phil Reagan and Jakob Schmanski. Hans Polman's 19th ahead of Adam Osiowala, with Greg Parmenter and Ben Hoffman behind. Then it's Nick Sherman's alongside Paul Godden, and they will be at the back of the grid for this race. Round 14 of the championship. Members of the crowd with their arms in the air. They're going to get very, very sore by the end of this. But lights are about to come on. And round 14 of the Sim Stickers Simracersworld Formula 3 series from the beautiful Red Bull Ring is underway. Look at Bart, he's gone. He's gone. Absolutely gone is Bart Daleman. Disappears up the road. Thank you very much. Wham bam, thank you ma'am. Right then, what's everyone else going to do? Oh, that's what Forstyke's going to do. He's going to spin himself off the road on the exit of turn 1. Nightmare scenario straight away for Forstyke. Now we need to think about championships here. Alex Jonsson and Tobias Olsen, they both want to outscore Bart Daleman here. Everyone does, let's face it. As in the background, who is that on the road? Oh my goodness me, that was Mark Van Dalen. I was going to say off the road, not on the road. Mark Van Dalen somehow going through there. He was on the grass. Somehow made it through up to turn 2 and did not collect anybody. Now, we've been told this is going to be a one-stop race, this. 20 laps should be absolutely fine with just the one stop, not 2. Oh, there's a car around Ross Nicholson. Of course it is. Ross with no luck whatsoever. Always involved in some sort of shenanigans. And oh, he can't even get it turned the right way now. So sorry for Ross. I feel so sorry for him right now. Look at this lot. Reese Saunders, Silas Craig-Vrolick, Victor Blick in there as well, just in front of them. Philip Russell, no, that's Miguel Freitas has binned it now. Does anybody want to finish this race? These lot do. Whoa, big slide there, Alex Jonsson. We did not miss that, mate. We did not miss that. We saw you there. Mark Van Dalen going down the order. He's had a spin. Oh, no, there's a big pile up in the last corner. Adam Osiowala involved in that. Hans Polman's in there too. Greg Parmenter goes in. Whoa, who was that? That was Ross Nicholson and Miguel Freitas both coming into the final corner. Absolutely sideways. Hans Polman's has apparently got something on his rear wing. For me. But I don't think now is... I don't think now is going to be the time to see it, unfortunately. Can we jump on with the car that was behind him? It was Craig Schill. Ah. Can we see it? Will we see it? No, we're not. However, I do want to look at this from the back of Hansy's car. Everything checks up in front of him. He gets drilled by the 282 of Craig Schill. Watch out for Ross Nicholson. There he is. I really don't know what happened to Ross. I really don't know, but that looks more like a Formula Regional car now. or a Formula 2 car than a Formula 3 car, with the wing being back like that. Maybe having something written for me on the rear wing was a curse, Hansy. Can't quite see what it is. We need somebody to be right behind him. Who's that car coming up behind him? That's Ross Nicholson. Is Ross going to get close enough for us to see? Let's go on the nose cam. I'm going to go in slow-mo as well now. Doing this. My driving scares me too. Oh, for God's sake. These boys. They love it. It does scare me, Hansy. Oh, that scares me. Tobias Olsen down the inside of his teammate Alex Jonsson, a bit sideways on the brakes. And with this battling going on, Bart Delman has checked out again. Look at him. He's gone. Absolutely gone. Mark Fletcher, currently in 4th place. He's got a fantastic view of this battle, which in the first race ended up in contact, and both of them having to come into the pits for quite a while. So we hope for their sake that's not how it goes now, because Tobias Olsen and Alex, to be fair, all in with a shout at the championship in these last 2 race meetings, the last 4 races of the season. In terms of Academy, Jakob Schmanski in the 1998 Minardi liveried car is on his way to take the title, if things stay this way, because he will outscore Craig Schill by a lot, because Craig, well, currently is just coming out of the pits now. He's just exited the pits. He is 5th in class, which will give him 11 points. Jakob Schmanski will get 20, so he'll beat him by 9, which will actually give him a 74-point advantage. And after this, there will be 77 available, so mathematically, if it's as it is, he won't do it. So, shut up, Chaz. Jakob needs to win this in this class. He needs to overtake this man here, Phil Reagan, because then he will get an extra 5 points, and that will give him the title. See, this is what happens when you give a championship a point scoring system that it's easy for the commentator to understand. Because in a lot of championships, they take points away for incident points and things. You know, you get like 100 points for a win, and then like 98 for second, 96 for third, and all this. And it's just too much. I always believe that you shouldn't give points to everybody in a field. You should have point scoring positions. It should be quite ruthless, like Formula 1 used to be. You know, the top 6 used to get points in Formula 1. Hell, the top 5 used to get points in Formula 1. At one point, you only got 9 points for a race win. It was something like 9, 6, 4, 2, 1 or something like that. And there was, you know, nearly 30 cars in Formula 1 at the time. Right then, this is Tim Rutten letting Reese Saunders go by. Reese is going well. James Forsyth is dropping down the order. Ben Hoffman. Oh no. Well, that, unbelievably, is Phil Reagan having a moment. And that gives Jakob Schmanski the lead in class. He's been hit. He's been hit by James Forsyth. And then he puts it in the wall as well. And that means that Jakob Schmanski is in position to take the Academy Class Championship. Phil Reagan with his aero damage has gone off again. Oh no, Phil. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it, but that is what's changed it. And Craig Schill will be absolutely hating it, because right now he can't do anything about it. He's 23rd overall, unless he finishes ahead of Phil Reagan. But if he gains 1 place from 5th to 4th, he's only going to gain 3 points, which will mean that Jakob scores 11 points more than I'm giving him 76 as the difference. So that would actually... Oh no, Olsen! Tobias Olsen! Out of the race! Massive damage! What on earth has happened there? Jakob Schmanski's been off track for a second as well. Has Tobias clipped the gravel? Oh, he has. Oh, that's a massive off. Oh, that's a sickening impact as well for Tobias Olsen. The nose glues itself back on, but that's not going to do anything for his championship. Tobias Olsen could have thrown away the title there. It's a mistake he made all on his own. No intervention by anybody else. That is huge for the championship, and he's... Yeah, I think he's gone. Quit out frustration from this race, as far as I know. Unbelievable developments. So Alex Jonsson is the next up to step up to the plate. 31 points behind Bart Delman going into this race. He's one position behind him, but it'll be 36 points difference if it finishes like this. That is insane. Let's have a look at the Consistency Championship. Ben Hoffman leads that at the moment. He's 5th in class, on his way to score 11 points. But currently, Victor Blick and Tim Rutten fighting for the win there. Vic can't win the championship anymore. Wayne Palmer, Philip Russell, Hans Pullmans and Tim Rutten could all spoil the party for Ben. Tim Rutten currently 2nd in class, just ahead of Philip Russell. So the two of them, 35 and 48 points off the top spot respectively. But that moment for Tobias Olsen has just blown this championship wide open. Let's have a look at it again. Watch how little you need to put on the gravel here. Oh, and he's kept his foot down as well, which has launched it sideways, and he's ploughed it into the barrier. Oh, you can imagine the frustration for poor Tobias Olsen. He was so dominant in the first set of playoffs as well. It looked like it was going to be an easy championship. James Forsyth softening the wall now. There's clearly something about the track conditions or something right now. Very difficult for these guys to deal with. That's the 2nd time Forsyth's gone off there. He does hit the wall quite hard with that left rear as well. And he's now in the pits and potentially out of the race. I cannot believe it. Yeah, Paul Godden there confirming in chat saying the track is very slippery. Now, I'm not sure if this weather graphic's coming. No, it works. Oh, my God. Something I've done works. Yeah, 38 degrees Celsius track temperature. It's only 18 degrees in the air, though. That's incredible. So it's a very hot circuit. Tim Rutten nearly going off. Scary moment for him. Ben Hoffman is starting to close in on Wayne Palmer, one of the only few drivers that can take the title away from him. And just 2 places back from them. This man, Jakob Schmanski, currently 1st place in class. 25 points he's going to gain. And that will mean that the gap from him to Craig Schill is 79 points. Not if he drives off the road like that, though. But still, they carry on. And we have nearly half of the race left to go yet. We've got pit stops and all sorts still to come. Hans Pullmans, Adam Ossioala, Phil Reagan and Craig Schill have all been in the pits. But for respective issues regarding damage and all sorts. So, seeing as they pitted on laps 2 and 5 between them, they're not going to have enough fuel to make it to the end. So they will have to pit again. This is Philip Russell, who has got past... Sorry, no, he's not got past Tim Rutten, because that's not Tim Rutten, that's Mark van Dalen. Putting pressure on Philip right now. As I go through the latter stages of the lap. Great to see the speed that these cars carry through there, isn't it? They are so quick. All of the aerodynamics working as well as possible. All the dust on the tyre as well for just a brief moment there as they run wide over that curb. Saunders and Craig Vrolick have done their respective personal bests on that previous lap. Reese Saunders, by the way, started 16th on the grid. Oh, Victor Blick! Victor Blick's thrown away the consistency class race lead. Tim Rutten now inherits the race lead in the class. And there it is confirmed at the top of your screen. Mark van Dalen getting past Philip Russell. That's not going to affect Philip for championship points, so he doesn't need to worry about that at the moment. Miguel Freitas on his way out of the pits. He's had his pit stop. I can imagine this doesn't feel too nice right now on the tyres with how hot the circuit is. Here's 2 Sim Stickers cars. Sim Stickers Racing, Greg Parmenter, and just Sim Stickers Ross Nicholson. Ooh, Greg tries to let him go. Ross nearly goes into the back of him. That would have been a hairy moment for them, for sure. Down the hill they go. Van Dalen is now ahead of Philip Russell, as we saw. So he is unleashed to get going. He's going to try and chase after his teammate in front of him, Tim Rutten. He doesn't want to hold Tim up, though, as this goes on. Because he doesn't want to affect Tim's championship. Ben Hoffman, by the way, 12 places gained in this. He started 22nd on the grid. He's up to 10th overall. And he is currently in 3rd position. He's got the fastest lap in his class as well as Ben. So if it finished like this, I'm going to do the maths on the fly. If it finished with Tim Rutten getting 25 points as he did in the previous race, Ben Hoffman getting 17 points, and Ben Hoffman will get 18 points. Philip Russell getting 20 after that. It would mean that the championship gap is only 28 points with 3 races left to go. It is bonkers close. Absolutely bonkers close. I'm going to try not to go on about it too much, but either way, that's the reason we're here, is the championship. All these drivers fighting for the championship consistently in their own respective classes. Here's your race leader then, Bart Dillman, currently on lap 11 out of 20, absolutely flying out front. Did a purple sector 3 on the previous lap, without any slipstream as well. That's just disgusting. 123.83 is his fastest. He did a 123.86 last time, 4/10 faster than Alex Johnson. No other drivers have managed to get into the 123s up to now. Not even Tobias Olsen. He did a 124.2. Adam Ossie-Awala is off the road. He's back on again. Not sure if he hit anything there. We'll have a quick look. Into turn 1. Sausage curb. Yep, wow, that's a very quick spin as well. Takes the cone out. He's fortunate enough not to hit anything though. So he carries on. Mark van Dalen, still with Philip Russell filling his mirrors, has gone off the road. So there you go. Philip Russell straight back through. As quick as that. Now, Jakob and Craig Schill still interest me at this point, because Craig has now moved up into 4th position in class. Does Jakob have the fastest lap of his class? He's done a 124.8. He does have that as well. So Jakob, from this currently, would get 26 points. And Craig would get 14. That would make 77 points the difference. So that fastest lap is what gives Jakob the championship if he holds on to that. Reese Saunders into the pits after a fantastic drive through so far. Silas Craig Vrolik has gained 10 spots at this moment in time. But right now, Craig Schill needs to either get the fastest lap in his class or he needs to gain a position. And Phil Reagan is 32 seconds up the road, so I can only see the former of those two things happening right now. This is Reese Saunders after coming out of the pits. He's got Nick Sherman's closing up behind him. Nick, of course, started on pole position in the first race, but had contact. Actually, no, he didn't. Sorry, he spun off on his own, and then he had a problem afterwards. Look at the way that they all just filter their way so smoothly down that part of the circuit. It's beautiful to look at. So too is Mark Fletcher, I suppose. Mark 3rd at the moment, 1.5 seconds off his teammate. Just in the background there you see Alex Johnson. The two flying at altitude with Alcantech cars, 2nd and 3rd on their way to the team's championship. Bart Dillman, fastest lap of the race again, 123.7, 7/10 of a second quicker than Alex Johnson. That is unbelievable pace, especially on a track as slippery as this in these conditions. Silas Craig Vrolik and Tim Rutten in. Mark van Dalen also in the pits. Tim Rutten, of course, was leading the consistency class when he came in. Schmanski in as well, that's important. Jakob Schmanski makes his way in from the lead. Craig Schill is a lap behind him, right there. Right there, you see the difference. These are the two championship fighters in Academy. Jakob is back out of the pits ASAP. Faster than Craig as well. I think that is Nick Sherman's in there with them as well. Ross Nicholson makes his way into the pits. He stops. In the background is Greg Parmenter as well. Is Bart Delman going to come in now? I'd imagine he would. There's not going to be too much of a window with pit stops. And also, Jakob Schmanski had an unsafe pit entry in the previous race. It wasn't speeding in the pit lane, but it was the same length penalty. Because there is a line on the way into the pits that if you do cross it, it counts as an unsafe pit entry. Bart there just trying to break his gearbox. Jonsson, Fletcher and Zemstra all in as well. And you know, Jakob Schmanski's actually done his pit stop and he's held the Academy class lead. Craig Schill is now back down in 5th place as well. So it's currently on for 26 points for Schmanski. And 11 points for Schill, which would be an 80-point gap. Ben Hoffman is 2nd in his class, but is Tim Rutten going to go through? Because he's coming down the straight already, and yeah, Ben Hoffman and crew haven't even stopped yet in their box. So Tim Rutten's... Has he just gone off? Who's just gone off? Adam Osiawala. That was Adam Osiawala on his way into turn 1. You could hear the tyres. Or at least I could. You could hear it just skating along the ground. There's Miguel Freitas trying to make up some ground on Ben Hoffman. So Tim Rutten currently leading that class on the road. 2nd place at the moment is Philip Russell. And then 3rd place, Ben Hoffman. And as discussed, Ben has the fastest lap in his class at the moment. So 28 points will be the gap. So he's doing everything right at the moment, is Ben. But this is not an easy situation to be in for any of these guys. It's a very, very slippery circuit. Here's Reese Saunders. Him and Silas have both gained 10 places in this race. They started 15th and 16th on the grid on row 8. We saw them further down the order after a tough first race of the night. And they've both worked very well together to get up this high up the order. Up the hill we go then. The main straight at Red Bull Ring, absolutely glorious. Grandstands packed to watch this Formula 3 championship. And I am not surprised. Now, this is interesting. Ben Hoffman ahead of Philip Russell. That's an extra couple of points in the championship for Hoffman. That's 3 more points in Hoffman's favour. Russell comes back at him though. Is he going to do it around the outside? Is he going to be able to carry the pace? No, he's not. Ben Hoffman gets that position. That puts him on 269 points to Tim Rutten's 238. 31-point difference. Now these two have got closer together as well. This is Alex Jonsson in 2nd place with Mark Fletcher chasing him down. Tobias Alston on for no points here, which would mean the gap between him and Bart is 36 points. He'll be 37 points ahead of Alex Jonsson. Up the hill we go again. Mark's certainly putting some pressure on his teammate right now. I'm wondering whether Mark's actually going to go for this and try and get 2nd place. Mark is 4th in the championship though, so I think when it comes to the drivers, Mark could be doing Alex a favour if he didn't go for this move, but at the end of the day, he's a racing driver. He's going to go for it. Oh, we need the other side. Oh, we need the other side. He's around here somewhere. Where is he? Where is he? There he is. We could just do that. But Alex and Mark having a good old fight as teammates, like I said earlier, twice. Different liveries, same team. Flying at altitude with Alcantech. The other teams are already full, so we wanted to team up and have a go at the Teams Championship. They're currently winning it, so GG. But look at this, fantastic racing side by side all the way around this section of the circuit. Still side by side. Mark's got the inside line. He's got the run, but he's not got it completed yet. Mark's barely him with the shout of the championship after this race meeting, though. You may as well give Alex the points, son. But no, he says. Up to second place goes Fletcher. Ross Nicholson's had another problem. Turn one again. Oh, the amount of guys we've seen do that. If we had a quid. Collectively had a quid, I must say. This is Philip Russell. Still trying to chase down Ben Hoffman, but that position has very truly changed now. Oh, guess what? There's a Jonsson down the inside of Mark Fletcher. He tries the cutback, gets it done as well. Look at that, beautiful stuff by Mark. Tim Rutten does his fastest lap of the race. Hope you're enjoying the show, everybody. Don't forget as well to make sure you like the video and, of course, subscribe to Sim Racers World TV on YouTube. Mark has got this done, I'd say. Or has he? No, Jonsson says no. Fantastic fun, though, these guys are having. I can imagine the smile on Mark's face right now. He does look quite angry when he sim races, but I imagine he is smiling. He is probably streaming tonight on the Altitude Esports Twitch channel. Not sure if Alex streams as well, but if he is, try and find him. Of course, after this, you know, go and watch it back from their point of view once you've watched the race here on Sim Racers World TV. They both end up in Germany. They're that far off at the end of lap number 17. Across the line has gone Bart Delman on the 18th lap of this race now. Not long to go. And Bart will have a 36-point advantage going into the final race meeting of the season. Further back, nothing else has changed. It's still Ben Hoffman ahead of Philip Russell. Ben with the fastest lap in his class. So an extra point for that means he's 31 clear. And then Jakob Schmanski. Jakob Schmanski, the Polish driver. He joined us for one race meeting at the end of last season. And he really enjoyed himself. Said he was going to come and give this a full campaign. He was a massive fan of the series. He's fantastic at joining in all of the YouTube chats, wherever I'm commentating, wherever any of our guys from Sim Racers World TV are commentating. Jakob is a real nice guy. And currently, with Craig Schill in 4th place, gaining 14 points, the gap would be 77. We've got two Team Year 1 cars right together here. Some people would tell you that was a recipe for disaster. It's Mark van Dalen chasing Tim Rutten. Through Rausch into Wirth. And down towards the last couple of corners they go. Bart Delman starts the penultimate lap of the race. Van Dalen takes an interesting line through there, actually. He turns right very early. I'm not quite sure why. Silas Craig Vrolik, fastest lap of the race. Look at that. 1:23.736. That is fast. Takes a point away from Bart Delman in the championship with that. Now you do get points for your fastest class lap, so that's why I'm giving some of these guys fastest lap points. You may be thinking, why are you giving them to those guys? Because they clearly haven't got the fastest lap, but it's the fastest lap in your class that gets the point. Kevin Zemstra and Silas Craig Vrolik. Name a better pairing. These two have had absolutely no luck between them in all of their time racing in the Sim Racers World Formula 3 series, but they keep coming back and they keep me very entertained, to these two boys. Now Mark van Dalen and Tim Rutten have just had an issue. Bart Delman's just been off the road. No, we don't want to look at that. Bart Delman went off the circuit. Ooh, he's got a little bit too hot there into Schloss Gold. White flag is in the air for Bart Delman. Mark van Dalen and Tim Rutten had a bit of a switch around. Oh, Mark. Nightmare. Absolute nightmare. But here is Bart Delman, everybody. Absolutely nailed it tonight as Bart. He set himself up for a beautiful second race. And look at the gap. It's come down loads. Alex Jonsson now within 2 seconds of Bart near the end of this race. He's got Mark Fletcher still right behind him, but I'd argue that Bart's having to fuel save or something. Still has Craig Rollick and Kevin Zemstra side by side in the background. Roll the dice. Who's going to win this one? Silas down the inside. Zemstra on the outside. Ooh, Silas a little bit out of shape by the look of it there. Just. Does he get it done? Zemstra back down the inside, says no. Whoa. Steady on, boys. Silas is through. But only a handful of corners left. I want you to get your clap emojis ready in chat, everybody. It's not something I ask for very often. But Bart Daleman, after starting at the back of his class in race 1 tonight, came through and won the first race. He's only gone and come through to win the second. Bart Daleman absolutely decimates at Red Bull Ring, everybody. Alex Jonsson and Mark Fletcher, another podium for both the Flying at Altitude and Alcantech boys. Still has Craig Rollick and Kevin Zemstra survive more than anything. 5th and 6th. Reese Saunders, 4th and 5th. Reese Saunders 6th. Tim Rutten is going to take a win in the consistency class. Great drive by Tim. He takes some points away from Ben Hoffman in the Drivers' Championship, but Ben comes through to finish in second. The gap between them is now going to be 31 points. Philip Russell finishes 3rd in class. But round the final corner, everybody, to take the win and the Academy Class Championship, Jakob Schmanski, the Polish driver, takes it with an entire race meeting to go. Commiserations to Craig Schill. He came so close, but there is 1 point now between them. And Jakob Schmanski is your Academy Class champion. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Very well done to Jakob. He will be absolutely over the moon with that. In his little Minardi. And he's going to do some donuts for us. Go on, son. Lovely stuff. Absolutely lovely stuff by Jakob Schmanski. Very well done indeed. Very well deserved. He's worked so hard for it, and he has taken the title. Mega. Bart Daleman will be a happy boy as well. 35 points difference between him and second place in the championship right now. And seeing as he came into this race meeting tied on points with Tobias Olsen, that is going to mean a hell of a lot to the Belgian. Jakob's still celebrating. Go on, lad. I'm so happy for him, honestly. He really is a massive supporter of mine and the channels and everything that we do here at Sim Racers World. Couldn't have happened to a nicer bloke. Craig Schill as well, though. Speaking of nice blokes, Craig will be really gutted to have missed out on the championship chance, but he has been so improved this season and such a great racer. He got very, very close, but unfortunately, it's not quite going to be enough. Well, we have a couple of drivers ready for interviews already, by the look of it. So what we are going to do is we're going to slow things down and we're going to drag in a couple of drivers for a quick chat. The first of which is going to be a man that won the consistency class twice this evening. Tim Rutten joins me in the box. Tim, you must be absolutely loving life right now. That was mega stuff.
Yeah, I was really happy with that. Before the race tonight, I was not feeling confident at all that I would still be able to get back into this championship. I thought the championship is done. I'm probably not going to be able to recover from this one. Ben Hoffman can have it. But with everything that went on, I think there is hope
yeah, definitely.
to still get the title.
Well, definitely, mate. I mean, we've still got some, 50-odd points left to go. I've massively miscalculated a lot of points over the course of the evening because I've based the whole thing with Jakob Schmanski on the fact that he needed 76 points, but you only get 25 points for a win, so clearly my maths is way off. But, you're still in there in the fight with Mr. Hoffman. There's a lot of very quick drivers, though, the likes of Philip Russell, Hans Polmans, Wayne Palmer. You guys all swap positions quite a lot, don't you, throughout a race?
Yeah, we really did. I was getting really nervous because I knew how important it was to get both race wins tonight. So when Victor Blick and Philip Russell got past me early doors in the second race, I knew I had to fight for it and try to get it back. Well, mission accomplished.
Yeah, definitely. And it's not an easy circuit to defend at either because the slipstream here is so strong, isn't it?
It really is. Something I've really noticed is that for overtaking the slipstream is really not that powerful, but the slipstream for sticking towards, staying right behind somebody, that was really noticeable.
Yeah, for sure. It seemed like you had to have that little bit of an edge in some of the corners or maybe on the brakes just to make that move. But very well done tonight, Tim. Fantastic stuff for your championship. One more race meeting to go. Is there anyone you'd like to give a quick shout out to?
It's Bart Tillman for organising the entire season. It has been mega. It has been mega this season.
It really has. It's been an absolutely wonderful championship, and we look forward to the final one with you in it as well, mate. Very well done, and we'll see you again soon.
Cheers, Josh.
Cheers. And straight from one man to another, who else should we have a chat with? I tell you what, actually, we'll speak to a guy that was very much there or thereabouts in the fight with Tim Rutten and still remains to be so in the championship. Philip Russell joining me in the box. That certainly looked like an action-packed evening for you, mate. There was never a shortage of anything going on. I think Philip's mic maybe not being picked up at the moment, unfortunately. We'll give him a sec. I don't know if he can hear me or whether he's completely deafened or not, but he's not on there at the moment. He has just disconnected, and maybe he'll try to come back in just a moment. So we will give him a sec. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. We'll let him have his moment. Mark Fletcher keeps sort of saying pick me," because he's deafening and undeafening very, very quickly in the interview waiting booth. I tell you what, just while we wait, we will drag in Alex Jonsson for a quick chat. Alex, really solid haul of points for you tonight, mate. That looked like a really, really good night of racing, despite the incident with Tobias earlier.
Yeah, first of all, I'm so sorry, Tobias. If you're listening, I'm really, really sorry about that. Like, I've already apologized to him, but I want to do it on record as well.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, other than that, yeah, good night. Good night overall. Really enjoyed race 2 with Mark there. I hope you got that on camera.
Oh, yeah, we got that.
Oh, that was amazing.
Mate, that was some epic racing, mate. You and Mark, you two are absolutely dominating the team's championship at the moment, and, the fact that you can go toe-to-toe with your teammates like that and still get a strong result out of it and a lot of points, that really shows how strong you are this season. Did you expect to come into it with that sort of performance?
I mean, in a sense, yeah, maybe not here because, well, I did 45 minutes of practice, so I was a bit surprised how quick I was, but race 1, obviously, Bart aced the strategy, hats off to him there. And race 2, he was just too quick. But yeah, I mean, pace I'm overall happy with. I wish there was a win in it for once, but I'm always the second guy up.
I was saying that earlier. It's the fact that you're so high up in the championship but haven't had a race win yet this season. It absolutely baffles me, to be fair, but just shows how consistent you've been, mate. One more race meeting left at Hockenheim. How are you feeling about going there?
I'm looking forward to Hockenheim. I do really, really like Hockenheim. I don't know if I'm going to be quick, but I hope I'm going to be quick. But I really, really like the track. So,
well, maybe a time to finally get that race win, eh? We'll have to...
would hope so.
We'll have to see. Anyone you'd like to give a quick thanks to while we've got you, Alex?
Yeah, much love to, first of all, you, our sponsors, Alcantech, SimLab, Niemann Racing, Almitech, and LXLI Racing Designs. My teammates, the amazing battle with Mark there was just, that was not so much fun. So yeah, thanks to everyone around SRW, and yeah, thanks all around. Happy days.
Smashing stuff indeed, Alex. Well, very well done, mate. Very well done indeed. Thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you again very, very soon, I'm sure.
I'm sure so. Cheers.
Just going to give it a second here, everybody, because I'm just having a slight internet-based blip, and I really do not know why. It seems to be going very, very slowly all of a sudden, so just bear with me 2 seconds, because I'm pretty sure that something just started randomly downloading or updating. It seems to have leveled out a little bit now. We'll speak to Alex's teammate, seeing as he had such a wonderful time of that. Mr. Fletcher, strong points tonight, mate. you and Alex had a mega fight at the end of that race there. You must be absolutely beaming right now because the team's championship's looking good.
Yeah, good evening, mate. Hope you're all right. Yeah, it was a quality race. I got a lot of respect for Alex. That's why we teamed up for a bit of a laugh for this end of the season. But yeah, there's not many people that I'd trust to go too wide with for almost 2 laps. Yeah, fair play. And then I saw Kevin Zemstra getting a little bit close. I was like, I've got to back out of this. He's going to catch us. And I know we're teammates, but so are they.
Very, very true, mate. Very true. Well, coming into this race, it was a bit of an unknown how the track would behave for everybody. It was very slippery in that second one, but I mean, even just with the confidence to come into this race like that, how are you feeling? Wow, we've just seen Tobias Olsen's moment at turn 1, flipping heck. Speaking of slippery, but to come into this, not only just this race, but this championship as a team with Alex, did you expect to be right up there like you have been?
I mean, it kind of helped when I did obviously the one-off appearance at Brands Hatch almost a year ago now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a fantastic championship. That gave me the fuel to sort of come and have a proper go at it. It's a lot more difficult than I expected. I mean, just look at Bart this evening. I thought I'd absolutely smashed it. I'm probably the only person in the world that saves fuel in an F3 car. And yeah, came out of the pits and went, where have I lost 7 seconds?
Yeah, why is Bart in the next region of Austria? He was just gone. Unbelievable.
Absolutely gone.
But it's still, you've had a very, very strong campaign so far. In terms of the points going into the last race meeting, unfortunately you are not able to take the win in the championship anymore, but Alex potentially could. 36 points back he is at the moment, so with Tobias Olsen having those issues there, it's all to play for. Are you going to be in a sort of supporting role for him, or are you just going to try and go for the wins for yourself and just crack on with it?
Well, I think realistically, I always wanted a P3 in the championship. I'm still going to fight for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, if he drops a sub on the channel or two, there's a potential that we could work together.
I absolutely love that. That's an incentive for Alex Johnson. Well, either way, Mark, it's a pleasure to speak to you as ever, mate. Well done on your results tonight. 2 fantastic podiums. Do you want to give anyone a shout out before you go?
Mate, just a standard lot. All the guys at Altitude, Ace Tech Sim Sport, Freem, Sim Stickers, who are obviously the sponsor of the F3 series, and also Sim Racing Studios. And yeah, to yourself, mate, much appreciated. Look forward to watching it back later.
Cracking stuff. Well, I said you were good looking tonight, so there's some brownie points.
Oh,
anyway,
thanks, mate.
I will
speak to you soon, Jazz.
Yeah, see you very soon, mate. Have a good one.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Lovely bloke, Mark Fletcher. Really good mate of mine. Really good mate of mine indeed. And another one is a man that just, honestly, in a different league tonight. Bart Daleman. Bart, coming into tonight, you were tied on points with Tobias Olsen. You must be absolutely loving life right now. Top of the championship. 35 points in your back pocket. That's a good advantage for the last round, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a good advantage. The job is not finished. We still have to focus on Hockenheim and work hard like we did now. And yeah, then we have a good advantage, and we can just follow the pack and yeah, we can finish it in race 1 in Hockenheim. So I'm really excited for the performance of this evening.
And talk me through race 1, mate. You came into the pits obviously very early on, got out of the traffic and got your head down. Did you think that the plan was going to work to that extent? I mean, it was a massive gap, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, yes, I actually practiced that strategy for pitting in lap 4, because I knew that it was just enough in fuel. If we would have pitted in lap 3, that was too early, and in lap 5 it's actually too late, because then you are refueling a little bit longer, and then it might not work. Because and then it was just managing the pace. We knew we had to have the leaders within a 25-second gap, and which we could just manage that pace because we had the free air. Yeah, well, I was practicing this the strategy all week. I think I did 8 or 9 IE racings, where I started last and then just pitted in the 4th lap and then do it like that. So yeah, we were pretty sure it was working. Matthijs was my crew chief today, and he was always informing me what the pace was in the front. And yeah, once I knew that they were like a second slower than me, then I knew that we would get P1 after the first pit stop, and then it was just heads down and pushing.
Well, it worked to absolute perfection, Bart. It was great to see it, mate. Very, very strong performance from you tonight. Hockenheim, then. Talk me through that. Is it a track that you enjoy a lot, or is it a track that you're not really looking forward to? It's more just sort of a bit of a tough job.
But it's unknown territory in iRacing. Again, like Hungering. But Hungering was a nice surprise for me because I like the track a lot. And for Hockenheim, it will be the same. It will be in Discovery. I never raced on it in iRacing. Only I know the track from F1 and from the F1 game.
Yeah.
But of course, with the F3, it's a little bit different. So it's just practice and just close it out now and finish it after 4 seasons chase. It's time to get it.
Well, I hope it goes well for you, Bart. It's been a fantastic campaign so far. One more dance to do, and I will see you next time round. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before you go?
Yeah, I want to thank Vic de Blick, because without him, I wouldn't have raced today, because my VR broke on Tuesday, so I couldn't practice, and on Wednesday I had to work on 11, and like on 5 in the morning I was waking up, because it was a 3-hour drive to there and back. So and then he gave me his spare VR glasses, and without him I couldn't have raced, or I was racing on single screen, so that would be a whole other thing. And Matthijs for crew chief, giving me all the information in the race. Jakob is helping me a lot as well. And Paul Godden, because he was doing the standings during the 2 races, and that took a little bit of load off me. Then I only had to concentrate on the server. So, and thanks to you for again, and probably a fantastic broadcast. I will certainly watch it back.
I can imagine, mate. Well, thank you very much indeed, Bart. It's always good to speak to you, mate. You've done a wonderful job with this series, and I look forward to rounding it out at Hockenheim next time round, mate. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, I hope I will see you as a champion. Yeah.
Fingers crossed, mate.
Yeah. Bye bye.
There you go then, everybody. Bart Delman, the man going into the final race meeting of the season with a big championship advantage. Unfortunately, we've caught him in slow-mo going backwards on the gravel. Unfortunately, though, Craig Schill not able to wrap the championship up at Hockenheim. The gap just too big now to Jakob Schmanski. But Craig, I mean, to get this far through the championship and come so close, you must still be very pleased with that, because there's been a lot of development since you first started racing in this series, hasn't there?
I'm shocked, to be quite honest, because when I crossed the line in race 1, I didn't even know I was in the lead. I had no idea what was going on. I just literally was going for clean lap after clean lap because I knew the incident points were so. But yeah, I am actually a little bit chuffed with myself.
Well, it's a fantastic way to just sort of surprise yourself, really. But at the end of the day, we've got one more race meeting to go. Of course, it is the wonderful Hockenheim ring. How are you feeling about going to there? Because it's a circuit that divides a lot of opinion, I think. There's some drivers absolutely love it, but other drivers maybe not so much. What's your opinion of that place?
I've done races in the officials, and obviously I did it in the Kia with your series. Part of the track I get on really well with, and then there's just corners that just baffle me. I can't find my braking points on them. But I plan to do about another 100 or so laps practice like I did for this race.
Well, I hope that the practice pays off for you, mate, because if you can still wrap up second in the championship, that would be one hell of an achievement. At the moment, you have a good sort of nearly 20 points over Adam Ossioala. So there is a gap there, and he's going to be the man to focus on, but we'll have to see how you get on in the last round. Is there anyone you'd like to give a quick shout out to before you go?
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to my family, because they've all started watching since I've been doing this, and they tune in regularly. Bart for running the series, because he's done a cracking job, and yourself for doing the commentary.
Thank you very much, mate. Absolute pleasure, and hello to the Schill family. Hope you're all enjoying yourselves, and hope you've enjoyed putting up with my horrendous tones throughout this series and my incredible unprofessionalism. But thank you very much, Craig. Great to speak to you as always, buddy. We will see you again very, very soon. There you go then, everybody. Craig Schill. And what we're going to do now is we are going to bring in a driver that I am very, very excited to speak to. It is the one and only Jakob Schmanski, who right now is our Academy Class Champion for Season 4. Jakob, to wrap it up with a race meeting to go, you must be over the moon, mate. Tell us how you're feeling.
Well, to be honest, I did not expect it. I'm honest. entered the championship expecting to be like P10 with 40 points to my name, and somewhere in the middle of this season, I got help from Bart, from Matisse, and the performance just went up and it stayed there. And I'm very glad it did. Well, it paid off.
You could say that again, mate. I mean, it was a bit of a nerve-wracking race meeting with dropping down the order in the early race, obviously with that penalty going into the pits. But you know, it was a big gap coming into the race meeting. Did you think that you were going to get it settled tonight, or did you think that you'd just sort of hold the gap and then have to do it at Hockenheim?
I didn't really. Oh, I was kind of split. I knew that if I didn't perform well today, I would still have one race to go. But on the other hand, I knew that if I just kept going, like if I don't give up, there's still good chance I'll get decent points. And with those points alone, I might seal the championship in the first race. So why not just take it a bit easier and just do what you do? Don't push it, don't rush. Just finish. Just arrive at the finish line, and whatever you get counts to your points. And fortunately, what I got was enough.
Well, you wrapped it up, mate, and it has been an amazing campaign to watch. One more to go, though, of course. Hockenheim, indeed. Is there any sort of confidence there just to get the gloves off and go for it, or are you just still going to play it a bit safe and make sure that championship gap is as big as possible?
I don't own the Hockenheim yet on iRacing, but I'll need to get it soon. I'll do some practice as much as I can. Unfortunately, my current work does not allow for much practice, but I'll do my best. And I'll still keep driving. I will not give up. I'll not leave the grid just because I'm sealed. I'll still enjoy racing the league, and I still enjoy fights with the drivers in all classes. So no reason for me not to show up. I might still try to get some points, but I will not get into the way of somebody who's fighting for a position in a class. I'll just let them through because I'm having fun. They are actually fighting for something. Wouldn't be nice for me to actually impede them.
Well, fair play to you, mate. You're doing it all for the right reason and you're enjoying yourself, so it's good to see. Thank you very much for joining us, though. Is there anyone you'd like to give a quick thanks to while we've got you?
I'd like to thank Bart, first of all, because I might actually say it. He invited me to a team that he's founding, and I'm a first champion in the team, which I will not forget. I'll always remind him of that. Other than that, not really thanks, but I'd like to say that Craig did insane job. A lot of practice. He's been very persistent in what he's doing, and I very much respect him for that because he's got much more persistence than I could ever have. And it was kind of heartbreaking to see him have a crash in race 2, but unfortunately that's what happens.
Yeah.
And other than that, you, of course, for sticking up with us and every single driver in the league, because without him it's not the same.
Very, very true, mate. Very true. Thank you very much indeed, Jakob, for the kind words. Very well said.
Thank you, Jess.
A very deserving champion. You go and enjoy the moment, mate, and we will see you again at Hockenheim next week.
Yes, see you then.
What a lovely guy, Jakob Schmanski. Fantastic stuff. We have our first champion of the season, everybody. Jakob Schmanski from Poland, the privateer in this championship, getting the job done tonight at Red Bull Ring. Bart Daleman then will lead us into the final race meeting with a 35-point championship advantage. It's bound to be an absolute corker at Hockenheim. Have a good night, everyone. We will see you in a week.